Okay, what to do with herbs in the spring? Can you do anything? Is it time to do anything? These are just a few. My little herb wheel are a few herbs. And as you can see, I just harvested, again, I always seem to think about it afterwards, but I just harvested some of the lemon balm. And I'm going to show you that in the house in just a few minutes. Thinking about harvesting some more oregano and drying it, I use a lot of oregano. And in the spring, all of your herbs are not ready to go yet, but you want to work with the ones that you can now while you have time, because you're going to start having herbs come in more and more throughout the spring and summer, as well as your vegetables. So while you have a minute, do what you can with what you have. Over there, across the ways, that one right there is a new one I put in this spring. The pineapple sage, I had one of those when I lived in Kentucky. They have beautiful red blooms. The leaves are really good for tea, and they smell so good. Let's go look at a few other things. You're going to see a rose inside. I only had one rose ready off my other bush. This one's kind of hid right now because we're dog sitting and they're tearing everything up, so we have things kind of stacked and out of the way. I don't put any poisons on my roses because I like to consume them, and I don't like poisons in my yard. So down there is not grass or weeds. This is a garlic chive, and it's supposed to help keep some bugs away, but it is not keeping the aphids away very well. As you can see, I'm getting some. What do I do then? Because they will take over if you don't do something. I use another herb, garlic, and I take it and I grind it up in my bullet, you can use a blender, and you pour some water in there with the cloves, and then you got to strain it really well. And then the liquid you can put in a sprayer. This is just a reused sprayer. I put the liquid in here, and I can't do it with one hand very well, but they're coming back again, so I've got to spray it real good. Need to get the hose over here and just carefully hold it and rinse them, spray off the aphids and then spray it good again. They don't like the garlic. And I noticed I'm having to spray more. I may have made this solution too weak. That's what you get for not being a person that measures. Sometimes you got to go back and do it over, and I may have to get a little bit stronger to get rid of those aphids, or they're just really tough aphids this year. Now, sometimes we have successes, and sometimes we have failures. Don't get discouraged. I'm not just going to show you everything that's bright and beautiful and never show you the downside, because I'm a realist. And I want you not to get discouraged if things don't work out perfect for you. I've had these pansies in the middle for, 2 or 3 years. They keep coming back, and they're doing fine. I just got some pansies and had put in that one, a month ago or so. They died on me. Why? I haven't a clue. But sometimes things like that happen. Don't be discouraged. Pansies are really good to go in your salad. They actually taste really good. And that's what I use them for. I also use them. I've got some, I think, in my flour vinegar that I'm making right now. Okay, all your herbs don't come in at once. This is elderberry. It's not ready yet. It's a young one. I planted it last year. I'm hoping maybe at least to get some blossoms this year, but not everything is going to be ready. But what things that are ready and what I can do, I need to do while I can before everything hits me at once. Showed my mullein the other day. I just harvested these I don't even think it's been a week ago, and they are already growing back. The leaves, now this is one of my success stories, kind of. I'd had 5 that I got way back in the mountains on the side of the road, little teeny tiny plants that were in the dust and dirt and choking and struggling, so maybe they're just thankful I gave them a good home away from the dust and dirt, and I water them once in a while. But I just harvested leaves. Now, so these are, I don't know how they were when I got them. They were really tiny. So it was the first year. I harvested some last fall. They grow really good once I got them in the ground. My others, one died in the transplanting. My chickens killed out the other. So I'm left with 2. But to me, it's still a success because these are so nice and healthy. So far, no wood to knock on real close by. But, yeah. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. I took the leaves the other day and I dried them out and put them in a jar. These have an affinity. Mullein has an affinity for the lungs. If you have asthma, it's really great. I don't have asthma, but I got them in case I get a cold or something and settles in my lungs or one of the family or something. I'll have some to make a mullein tea with. That's one of the things you can do in the spring, because on your first year plant, you can harvest in the fall and in the spring, and then it'll start growing up a spire that flowers, and then it's going to be, you don't want to harvest at that time. You want to harvest the first year plant, the fall, and then the spring of the second year. Kind of like my oregano, I need to get some cut and dried. My self-heal as well while I can, and it's not blooming yet, so right now would be a good time. When I can get to that pretty quick, I'll be cutting some of that, washing it up and drying it. Self-heal's very medicinal. I have a tincture of it. I use some of that tincture in my homemade mouthwash that I make. I also make teas with this. So, but it's ready. I can harvest some of it. Again, another one that is not ready yet, my nasturtiums. I'm going to let them grow a little more. They're doing really well. I could pick some of the bigger leaves if I wanted and dry it, but I'm going to wait and I get a little bigger harvest maybe. I might pick a few and dry them. But I really want it to have all the energy it can to grow and give me a lot of pretty flowers. And I'll be using the flowers in salads. And, oh no, this hawk just got the chicken across the street. Oh, it got a chickie, a baby chick. The mama's really upset. Stupid hawk. I hope you don't get mine. I'm going to have to be really careful with my chicks. Rats. I'm just upset because I saw that hawk carrying off a baby chick, and I didn't get it on camera. That would have been interesting, but it just kind of breaks my heart. Not my chicks, but I still feel for the chick. Anyway, that's a spicy oregano down there. I don't have as much of it, but I may get some of that and dry it as well. This is my little rose plant that I picked my first rose of the year off that's on the table. I'm going to show you in a minute. I've got some holy basil back there and in my other little garden area, but I want them all to grow and get a little more before I harvest any of those. I hear a baby chick. He may have dropped one, and if it's out away from its mama, I want to help it back, even though they're not mine. Hold on, folks. Where did he go? Oh, no, that ain't him. My heart's just thumping because of that hawk. But anyway, there's the rose and the lemon balm I just harvested. I'm going to wash them in a minute because I've got my salad spinners, what I wash my herbs in. And I've got some thyme and chamomile in that I'm rinsing, and then I'll rinse this. I also, that's pretty good. There's other things I'm doing with herbs, but I just wanted to let you know it's spring. It's that time of the year. There's things to do. And I'm sorry. I can't even think now to finish this blog, but those things happen, I know, but I just hate seeing it. I have such a soft, tender heart for animals. I'm sorry. Those mean old hawks. I know they got to live and eat too, but the chicks are so cute, and I have chicks, and they're just adorable. The one hollering, there was actually 3 over there, got separated from the mama. She ran through the fence when the ordeal happened with part of her chicks, but there was 3 left back in the other yard. I couldn't go in there to help. They're wild as the wind anyway. They just run free on the ranch over there, and I couldn't do anything. The mom she knows they're in there. She'll get back to them. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm just going to close this down, folks, and oh, what I'm going to do with the lemon balm, I'm sorry, that just kind of bothered me. For some reason, I don't know why so much today, but it did. The lemon balm, I'm just going to rinse off and put in a big gallon jar and with good water and let it sit for overnight. And tomorrow I'm going to have the best tasting, refreshing water you can imagine. The rose, I will dry the petals and set it aside. I do a lot of things with roses. Right now I'm making a flower vinegar, and there's roses in there. There's actually rose buds in there with some other flowers. I also take the dried rose petals and make tea. My favorite last year was a lemonade rose tea. But I'm going to close for now, and I hope you all have a good week. Bye-bye now.